Hello everyone, I'm Phoenix Tremaine, and this is going to be my Tyler Perry's Ruthless Episode 5 review. Now first, if you haven't done so, please take a minute to subscribe. If you have subscribed, thank you very much, really appreciate it. This is going to be going on both of my channels. Looks like it's becoming popular on my main channel, youtube.com/web series and movies, but also I have a new channel where I'm doing reviews, youtube.com/Phoenix Tremaine. That's my new channel, and it only has 500 subscribers, and please go subscribe to that channel because there's going to be other reviews on that channel, including Tyler Perry's The Oval. I'm going to start doing the 12 episodes I didn't see. I'm going to review those, but I'm going to put them on my other channel. So please subscribe to both so you can see my Oval reviews as well as my Ruthless reviews. So no matter what channel you're watching this on, I appreciate you. Thank you for doing it. Now here we go into the Tyler Perry's Ruthless Episode 5, The Chosen. Getting right into my notes. We find out that Andrew actually faked trying to have sex with Ruth, and the highest knows he's faking because he realizes that he's not erect. So he tells him, why are you faking? And when he realizes that he's just not going to be able to get it up, he actually, in front of Ruth, kisses Andrew in the mouth. Well, where else would he kiss him? But he kissed him and then told Andrew, we're going to let somebody else go while you get yourself together. And then he tells Daikon to go ahead, and I was like, oh, you getting the D now. So Daikon has no chill. He will do whatever the highest wants him to do, and if the highest tells him to dig up deep in the cooch, then he's going to dig up deep in the cooch. Unlike Andrew, who will probably have to show a test of faith and that he can actually do something like that in the future. But that's just my prediction. So Daikon goes ahead and he jumps right in there, and now she's going to get 6 out of 7 because we later learned that Andrew never got it up. The other mother comes to wash Ruth, who's still a little defiant, and she learns that she's going to have to cook for Tally. I guess to get Tally back in line, they got to drug her up real good again. And so she's first defiant to elder mother, then she realizes that I'm going to be treated like Tally is being treated if I don't get my ish together. So she becomes very compliant, which elder mother, if she was smart, would be very suspicious of, that she could go from 20 questions to, yes, elder mother. Lynn is still faking that she's okay, but she's still falling under the spell of the Ragadushi, and she finds a piece of paper in her jacket and she calls the number, and who's on the other end? Daikon. And even though she doesn't fully remember what happened, he does remember, of course, what happened, and he's ready for her to come back and get some more. Now, Daikon is one of those characters that I'm still feeling out. At first, I honestly thought he was gay because even before they revealed that the highest was gay, I felt that his loyalty was so strong that he probably was in love with the highest, even if they weren't doing anything. And to find out that they actually were doing stuff, and Tally even said she saw the highest and Daikon doing it, that I just thought his character was that way. But when he talked to Lynn, I was like, well, we know that she was abused by multiple men, and that she's probably going to be pregnant, and I'm kind of feeling like it's going to be his baby. So he tells her that to lick the paper, and she's like, no, I don't want to lick the paper. But, of course, the paper has, some sort of psychedelic drug on it, which is going to send her back into the euphoric state, which is going to make her want to come back to the Ragadushi. At the sheriff's department, Brian is getting mixed reactions from the sheriff and the deputies. Now, I really don't know what to think about the sheriff anymore, because it came off to me a little racist. And he was sort of like going back and forth between he's a good guy, maybe, but he has issues with race, maybe. I don't feel like we really got who the sheriff is defined, even when he was in the car with Brian and he talked about taking a drink like right then and there, and Brian kind of blew it off like he was joking. And so in the sheriff's station, of course, there was the white sheriff deputy that was female, and she commented immediately on Brian's body, and immediately. And it's not like she was talking to a girlfriend. She was talking to another sheriff's deputy. He was a male, and he was very. He already came off like he was just feeling inadequate. That he was jealous and feeling like just inadequate, especially for somebody who's coming from a bigger city. So he's going to be a problem, I'm predicting, before he finds out he's really an FBI agent. Hell, I wouldn't be shocked if he was working with the Rakadushi, because you never know. Everybody's a suspect. So there was that interaction in the sheriff's station. And now I'll say this also about the show. For like the have and have nots, I've complained about the have and the have nots taking too much time to get to the point. It took 5 seasons to find out who killed Amanda? 5 seasons, which is in real time like 10 seasons, because you get like half seasons. So 5 seasons is actually, to the viewer, it feels like 10 seasons. So it takes us 9 seasons to find out who killed Amanda. That's too long, and there's still stuff that's dragging out from season 1 that, as have and have not, seems to be going to a series finale on own. It's still dragging. But what I can give Tyler credit for with Ruthless is that I do not feel like the show is dragging, even though it's just like the have and have nots, in the sense that we're on episode 5 and only 2 days have passed. So we're on day 2. So normally, if the plot wasn't moving, I'd be complaining. But I think Tyler is hearing us, and he's not dragging this out. So, hell, they filmed the first season, all 24 episodes, from what I read on Wikipedia, in 13 days. So he got through this really quickly, but I don't feel like he's stretching out the scenes anymore. I feel like every time I watch an episode of Ruthless, I've learned something and the story has moved forward, and I appreciate that. So I'm taking the time to say that. I know a lot of people complain, but if I see improvement, I'm going to tell you about it. Let me see. Ruth sees firsthand that they're drugging the food, and the highest has a worst case scenario where he's poisoned the applesauce and I guess the soup. If things go wrong, he's going to kill everybody. So she's told to give Tally this specific food, and you're going to have to put this, and in it, and that is very powerful. And she doesn't say drugs, but yeah. So Ruth has now learned everything Tally told her was true. So Ruth tells Tally what happened, and she gives her a sandwich that she made herself that's actually not drugged, so that she can get her strength back. And Ruth brings her the food, and then she and Tally, they come together, and she's like, "Look, we getting out of here. We just gotta get our kids, and then we're escaping." So Ruth tells Tally that Andrew was one of the 7, and Tally's like in shock because she knows that means Andrew and Hayes had sex. So she is like devastated, because now she tells Ruth, "Hey, I'm pregnant with Andrew's baby. please don't tell nobody because I know they'll kill me. They'll destroy me. And she said, but we can't trust Andrew now that he has become one of the seven. Don't trust him. Although we know as fans watching that Andrew's just doing what he had to do. And yeah, he got with the highest, but he's actually still ready to take her and escape. But when Andrew comes into the room after Ruth and tries to talk to her, console her, she's like, "Oh no, I'm with the Raggadooshie. I believe everything. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. It's all good. Don't want to escape." And Andrew's all confused, and he's like, "Huh?" And then he wants to like sort of cuddle up to her, and she's like, "We got to be good." So she no longer wants any parts of Andrew now that he's been defiled. We also got introduced to a new character, Lynn's cousin Cynthia. Cynthia came off to me as sort of like, a roundaway girl, that friend that tells it like it is and keeps it real. We know what character that is. That's the Tiffany Haddish character. But she's less Tiffany Haddish, but we know that's the kind of vibe that we're going to be getting from her. But it doesn't lead anywhere. And Ruth realizes they got to get the keys to be able to get to see the children. The one that has the keys is Daikon. And so Ruth tries to subtly seduce Daikon, saying of all of the men she was with just, that night before, he was the one she liked the most. And he's like, you can't talk like that. He's dedicated 100 to the highest. And we know for the plot to move forward, he's going to have to sort of fall for this. But, based on what we saw, he really didn't care about Ruth or getting some more. And that's kind of where we left it. But we know that in order for the story to progress, he's going to have to give in. Or she's going to get caught and things are going to hit the fan. Tally loses... I already talked about Tally losing faith in Andrew since he's been seated. And then we get the big twist at the end of the episode. And Sarah arrives and she sees Andrew. Sarah is Andrew's wife, if you don't remember who I'm talking about. And she comes there and the gates partially open, and she's looking right at Andrew. Andrew's looking right at her, and you don't know what she's going to say next. Now, will the sheriff show up just in time and, she just makes a getaway? Will she be stupid and say something crazy that gets him in trouble or gets herself in trouble? But Sarah didn't went all his way. She tracked him by his watch. He's undercover. And here her dumbass is with guys with rifles on each side of her, now demanding who she is. And she clearly sees her husband is perfectly fine, and this is the character who irked me the most. I hated it when Lynn did it, and I'm hating when Sarah does it. I say again, as I said last video, it's like your husband is a police officer, and he's a DEA agent, and he was busting a drug ring, and so he's gone deep undercover, which means you aren't going to really hear from him because it could mean his life and yours. And so you're like, shoot, my kid's birthday's coming up and he gonna come home. That makes absolutely, positively no sense to interrupt a guy who's deep undercover so that you can possibly have your son's father home for his birthday. That so far is just the most ridiculous part of the show. In an otherwise really good show. Everybody who I know who have seen the show have really enjoyed it. All the people I recommended to it have thanked me for it. I've seen it in the comment section. You know, I see that my numbers are definitely growing on my main channel. The episode 4 review is now up to like 4,000 views, and my on my newer channel, I think is up to maybe a few hundred reviews. But you put them all together, and it's getting up there. So it may take a little time. I mean, hell, my Have Not review from way back when, they got over 100,000 views. You know, I didn't even pay attention for it for a little while. Then I came back to it, like, the hell? How those people find my videos so fast? So thank you for everyone for watching my Tyler Perry's Ruthless reviews. Thank you for bringing my numbers up. Thank you to the people who asked me, when are you gonna do episode 5? Well, hopefully you enjoyed the review, you agreed with me, and I will see you in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about Ruthless, Tyler Perry's Ruthless on BET Plus. Thanks for watching.